For those of you watching this video that have somehow never seen the amazing movie that is Megamind, first of all, go watch it. But second, I'll give you a brief summary. Megamind is the name of a brilliant but misunderstood supervillain who constantly battles his nemesis, the superhero Metroman. However, when Megamind finally manages to defeat him, he realizes that life without a hero isn't as fulfilling as he thought. To fill the void, he creates a new superhero to fight named Titan, but things take an unexpected turn when this new hero becomes a greater threat than any villain. Megamind then must confront his own identity and decide whether he truly wants to be a villain or if there's more to him than meets the eye. I've created a few questions for you viewers to answer as you watch if you would feel so inclined. In Chapter 1, I will be asking, what is the moral area between Megamind and Metroman called, and what are the effects of not including these aspects in movies, and how does the movie show the idea of redemption in the character Megamind? In Chapter 2, I will be asking, what is the main difference between how Megamind and Titan treat their jealousy, and why is jealousy used to drive the plot forward? In Chapter 3, I will be asking, what are the cliches or expectations that people expect a superhero movie to have and take seriously? And what are the ways that Megamind subverts the viewer's expectations? I will be listing the answers to these questions at the end of the video. Enjoy. We have it all, yet we have nothing. Who could have said these words? William Shakespeare, one of the most well-known poets ever. Perhaps Edgar Allan Poe, a poet known for his tales of mystery. Maybe even Albert Einstein, a man known for his genius. But the real answer is none of them. And I hear you asking, then who said it? And I'm here to tell you the real answer. Megamind said it, because Megamind is awesome. But what makes it so good? Well, a few key factors of that is that the movie is funny to everyone, it is easy to understand at any age, and it tells a good message in a simple way. And the messages, or lessons of Megamind include identity and self-discovery, good versus evil, redemption and second chances, friendship and loyalty, acceptance and belonging, and power and responsibility. Although, I will only be covering these three for the sake of simplicity. In regards to good versus evil, Megamind kidnaps the girl, Metroman saves the girl, Metroman protects the city, while Megamind threatens it, and Metroman is seen wearing all white, while Megamind is seen wearing all black. There's one important thing to notice here. There is nothing here. There is no gray area between Megamind and Metroman. The effects of not including a gray area are that the characters are easy to understand, there is a stronger emotional impact, and the overall accessibility of the movie itself. And this all loops around to the movie being, as I said, very simple. Of course, if anyone's watched Megamind before, they know that Megamind and Metroman finish their short battle within the first 10 minutes of the movie. The real purpose of the simplicity in the beginning of the movie is to make the messages of identity and self-discovery and redemption and second chances easier to understand. The way the movie does this is by taking this and turning it into this. By taking the roles that Megamind and Metroman play in the first 10 minutes of the movie and just flipping them around by the end makes it really easy to understand how he's changed and developed, because you know exactly what good and evil are defined by at the very beginning. Normally, when characters develop, they have to answer tough questions like these throughout the movie, but Megamind just follows a very straightforward path all the way until the end of the movie. This straightforward path of character development makes Megamind an easy character to understand, even though he goes through all the complicated steps any other character would in order to change. It also explains the message of how people can change and redeem themselves in a way that anyone could understand. I didn't explain how the movie is funny to everyone, but I think any movie that ends with a dance scene deserves to be called funny. I've talked about simple things in Megamind that make it an amazing movie, but it still contains complex ideas and social commentaries that make it stand out among other animated comedies. Some of the things that would be harder or even impossible for children to grasp and understand in the movie are the ideas of societal norms, the importance of being yourself, and the concept of jealousy and ambition. The idea of jealousy is shown several times throughout the film, whether it's when Megamind was jealous of Metroman because of all the popularity he had within their classroom, or when Titan, the main antagonist of the film, was jealous of the love Roxanne had for Megamind.
Not how.
Jealousy can be attributed as the main factor for why the characters in this movie change and become the way they are. With Megamind being put down emotionally during his time in school, he naturally becomes a person who seeks attention, as shown by how he keeps himself close to Metroman early on. Titan, on the other hand, handles his jealousy with revenge against those who caused him pain. I could see someone making the argument that both Megamind and Titan treated their jealousy with revenge, but the fact that Megamind did not expect to supposedly kill Metroman, and even somewhat mourned for him, shows otherwise. Several other extremely successful animated films such as The Lion King, Kung Fu Panda, Toy Story, and Shrek 2 also use jealousy and revenge as a way to drive the plot forward in their films. The reason for this is because jealousy is a powerful and relatable emotion that people understand and have to deal with. The fact that the movie Megamind uses the same strategy of moving the plot forward as the other incredibly popular films shows that the creators of Megamind understood what aspects of different movies make them so good. DreamWorks actually created Shrek 2, Kung Fu Panda, and Megamind, so they must really know what they're doing. The same thing applies to other professions, with creators such as poets or artists. Many famous artists have a distinct style they draw in, while poets will have a certain type of way they write or portray their stories. One of the reasons this is done is because after practicing and working on a technique for so long, you will master it. And obviously, DreamWorks has mastered their technique of storytelling with the magnum opus that is Megamind. As for being yourself and the societal norms that I mentioned, the movie shows these aspects off with a couple of scenes, but both are shown when Megamind leaves Minion.
Bad guy doesn't get the girl. Maybe I don't want to be the bad guy anymore.
The movie is able to convey a message about how you shouldn't change yourself and what you want to do for the sake of others. People see Megamind and they always think you are the bad guy, and this makes him believe it himself.
Right. I'll always be a villain.
The movie is able to show people that everyone is capable of change and should not be labeled and defined by their past. You would think a message like this would be difficult to convey to a younger audience, but by having Megamind go from purely evil to purely good, as I mentioned earlier, it is extremely easy to understand. With a typical superhero movie, You would expect classic tropes such as a damsel in distress, a cool superhero origin story, and some sort of terror or crisis throughout the city. But the movie Megamind does almost the exact opposite of what you would expect a superhero movie to do. Most of the movie revolves around a subversion of tropes, role reversal, and humor and satire. A superhero with a similar background to Megamind would be Superman, who was also sent away from his home planet when it was destroyed. The creators of the movie knew this as an iconic part of Superman's past and decided to turn it into something somewhat comedic, even though it should be sad. Usually, a damsel in distress in films is constantly in trouble and is unable to do anything but yell for help. But in Megamind, the damsel Roxanne makes fun of this cliche by stating that she's already seen Megamind's traps and everything he has to threaten her because of how many times she's already been kidnapped. As for the role reversal in the film, I've already covered how it happens, but how would a first-time viewer react to seeing the movie? If someone only knew that Megamind was a superhero movie while going in to watch it for the first time, they would be shocked to see Metroman die within the first 10 minutes of the movie. Like, what kind of superhero movie would kill the superhero? This part of the movie really subverts a viewer's expectations in comparison to what they would have expected. As for the humor and satire that Megamind uses, it's really the things I've just mentioned. Megamind uses its subversion of tropes as a form of humor. When Roxanne knows all of Megamind's traps, it is presented as something that is made to be funny. Even Metroman's supposed death is played out as being somewhat funny because of the way Megamind reacts to the whole situation, and the silly little skeleton that comes flying into his lair. Overall, the simplicity, complexity, and change of expectations of the movie versus the reality are all reasons why this movie is so great. I'm sure there was lots of thought put into every single part of this movie. It was built off the themes of other successful films. It made its characters easy to understand, and it challenged the norms of what a superhero movie is supposed to be. This is the end of my examination of the movie. Everything past this will be answers to the questions listed at the beginning of the video. The answers to the questions in Chapter 1 are a gray area and that the characters are easy to understand, there's a stronger emotional impact, and the movie becomes more accessible to a younger audience. And Megamind does all the things that the viewer saw Metroman do. For Chapter 2, the answers are Titan resorts to revenge while Megamind seeks attention, and jealousy is a powerful and relatable emotion, or DreamWorks is good at using it and they know what they're doing. In Chapter 3, the answers are a damsel in distress, an origin story, and an evil force terrorizing the city, and it reverses expected roles, it deviates from classic tropes, and it uses humor in unexpected situations.